This is a brokening news alert from the front lines of the war on democracy, where our field correspondents Barbie Blunt and Kent Candor are standing by.
This is Barbie Blunt. My colleague Kent Candor and I are here on the front lines where truth is under assault.
The new occupier oligarchy continually attacked the truth. One such atrocity occurred when Herr Musk, leader of Doge, proclaimed that USAID was a criminal organization. And then he and his unelected JV team of white supremacist minions unlawfully and unconstitutionally shuttered the organization, terminating thousands by proclamation, stranding Americans overseas, jeopardizing U.S. citizens' security, freezing food aid, and impacting agricultural markets and American farmers. In another deplorable attack on the agency, the stupidocracy claimed U.S. aid was supplying condoms to Hamas, and they were making bombs with them. More lies.
But it appears the real truth bombs are the ones the Musk rump regime is dropping, because those are just lies. The real incendiary devices are being hurled at us from the dictators in the White House.
The poisonous propaganda targeting Americans and coming from the MAGA crime spree is choking our democracy. Puppet Trump fired rounds of blame for the first major aviation catastrophe in the U.S. in decades at DEI, and then his predecessors, even though the crash happened on his watch, after he had fired the heads of the Transportation Security Administration, the FFA, and the Coast Guard, and disbanded the Aviation Security Advisory Committee. Apparently, competency does matter if people actually want to live through air travel.
And speaking of firing, we witnessed another attack against the rule of law. Crime and whine boss Trump fired inspectors general from more than a dozen federal agencies. And why would this crime regime fire those charged with investigating corruption in the government unless they intend to corrupt the government? We're pretty sure that's why, because we can see them corrupting in real time.
In a rage and revenge attack on the rule of law, the Trumpocracy launched sweeping attacks on the Department of Justice, firing dozens of DOJ attorneys who prosecuted January 6 cases, an offensive that's part of a massive FBI personnel purge to ensure only Trump loyalists are employed at our top federal law enforcement agency that will serve him personally.
There's more incoming. Thief in Chief and his muskrats discharged an onslaught of lethal letters to dozens of civil servants, DOJ officials, and heads of departments in the government, threatening to fire them if they didn't resign. Yet another illegal bombardment on the rule of law.
In an extreme warfare technique, the Project 2025 Orange Perp puppet rained terror on his own people, signing orders to destroy his predecessor's pro-civil rights legacy, rescinding dozens of President Biden's executive orders, including those on racial equality, access to voting, protections for LGBTQ+ individuals, and more. Then, in a pincer movement, the regime ordered government funding shut down to countless agencies and programs, creating chaos and striking fear in the hearts of the people.
And another blitzkrieg. This group of ultra-right-wing fanatics promised to lower prices, but then discharged a barrage of tariffs in an assault that's already blasting prices sky high for Americans. Oh well, they'll never feel it in the White House, since they are all billionaires. In yet another display of dominance for the Musk Reich, they've been conducting raids, rounding up immigrants, and throwing in a few U.S. veterans and some other American citizens for good measure. Using terrorist-style tactics, they handcuff them and shove them into military cargo planes and ship them off to our southern neighbors in $250,000 per flight taxis. They threaten to escalate and deploy the military here at home to sweep up all the people who grow, pick, and process your food, and anyone else they don't like, and place them in concentration camps.
The crime king began destroying democracy on day one, pardoning all his feces-flinging insurrectionist, cop-beater, and killer friends and their accomplices who attacked the Capitol on January 6th, so he would have goon squads, his own brown shirt legions, on the streets of America.
Carrying out the plan to overthrow democracy, he and his billionaire backside smoochers tried to blow up birthright citizenship and the Constitution right along with it. Everywhere we look, they are stoking fear and launching attacks on legal principles and our shared values. And now they are firing on our freedoms.
To complete the occupation, they have besieged Americans with barrage after barrage of missiles loaded with disinformation, propaganda, and lies. If we don't move fast, we'll get pinned down here, so we'll have to sign off for now.
This has been a brokening news alert.